That last video I posted got a little dark in the myth section, so this minute mythology is going to be a little lighter. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Peryton is described as a cross between a giant eagle and a demonic fang-toothed stag, known for tearing out the still-beating hearts from their victims' chests. I thought this one was going to be lighter. Oh well, whatever. The Peryton has an AC of 13 and 33 hit points, as well as a walking speed of 20 feet and a flying speed of 60. They have an animalistic intelligence and relatively okay stats otherwise, as well as a +5 to perception checks and resistance to non-magical attacks. They have a passive perception of 15 and can understand Common or Elven, but they cannot speak. They have a trait called Dive Attack, which allows them to roll an additional 2d8 damage if they dive down at least 30 feet to strike a target with one of their melee attacks. They also have the Flyby trait, making them immune to opportunity attacks, and Keen Sight and Smell that gives them advantage on perception checks. They can use 1 Gore and 1 Talon attack per turn, both of which have a +5 to hit. The Gore deals 1d8 +3, a range of 4 to 11 damage, and the Talons deal 2d4 +3, a range of 5 to 11. As a DM, the strategy for the Peryton is deliciously straightforward. I would have them engage the party from flight, 30 feet above. I would have them dive bomb players each turn, moving 30 feet straight down to attack and gaining their dive attack extra damage on their Gore or Talons. Once they're finished attacking, I would have them use the other 30 feet of their flying movement to take off back into the skies, avoiding opportunity attacks. Every turn, I would have them target the player that has been hurting them the most, which is more than likely going to be your ranged players, since the melee ones will be unable to retaliate or hit them from the ground. If they get grounded by any means, the Peryton should always attempt to get back into the air, as their entire strategy revolves around dive bombing people from the sky. In mythology, the Peryton was described as a large, feathered stag with bird wings sprouting out of its back. Its front half had stag legs, and its back half long legs with talons like that of an eagle. It was first ever named by George Louis Borges in his 1957 book of Imaginary Beings, where he claimed that he had found a long-lost medieval manuscript describing the mythical creature. This claim is partially supported by a depiction of a Peryton on the battle standard of the Dukes of Bourbon. Other than this, the exact origins of such a creature are still unclear. In comparing the creature to the myth, we find that the descriptions are fairly similar. D&D 5th edition elects to make the Peryton more bird-like. Early editions gave it the head of a stag, but its current depiction is that of a massive bird of prey with antlers and a face of a stag. In addition to this, the Peryton from D&D is said to have a shifting shadow that changes shape based on the prey it eats. It also understands spoken languages and were sometimes used by deities and other higher power beings as mounts or messengers. The inspiration for these editions seems to have been made entirely by the creatures of D&D, as the myth of the Peryton is severely lacking. However, it's entirely possible that the Peryton was not meant to be an entirely different creature. Perhaps the Dukes of Bourbon were simply creating their own little twist on an already established legend. If you enjoyed that video, consider giving it a like and giving me a follow. And for more of my videos, you can find me on Twitch @Moglaroo, YouTube @Moglaroo Streams, and TikTok @Moglaroo Streams as well.